the dawn of a new empire. The great city of Rome, the eternal heart of an empire that had once held the world in its grasp, was dying. Not with a sudden violent end, but a slow agonizing decay, like a grand old tree whose roots were being gnawed away by unseen insects. Barbarian tribes, like hungry wolves at the gates, had long since learned that the once unbreachable walls of the Roman Empire were now porous. The western half, with its fractured power and crumbling institutions, was already a lost cause. The sun, which had risen over the Roman world for over a millennium, was beginning its long, dramatic descent. But as one light faded in the west, a new one was being kindled in the east. This was the vision of a man named Constantine, a soldier emperor who had wrestled his way to the pinnacle of power. He was a man of fierce ambition and profound foresight, a general who understood that the future of the Roman world lay not in the familiar, but in the new. He looked not to the fading grandeur of Rome on the Tiber, but to a small strategic Greek city on the Bosphorus Strait. Byzantium, it was called, a trading post of modest repute. But Constantine saw its destiny. He saw the Bosphorus as a key, a narrow channel that connected the Mediterranean to the Black Sea, and a land bridge between Europe and Asia. He saw a city that could be a new center of power, a fortress that could defend the empire's wealthiest provinces from the new threats emerging from the east and north. He envisioned a new Rome, a capital built not on the shaky foundations of the past, but on the solid rock of a new era. And so, in 330 AD, a monumental undertaking began. The old city of Byzantium was torn down, and a new one rose in its place. A city built with all the splendor and purpose of Rome itself, but with a new spirit. It was given his name, Constantinople. Marble from distant quarries, columns from ancient temples, and countless statues were brought to adorn its streets and forums. It was more than a city. It was a statement. It was a declaration that the Roman Empire, though bruised and battered, was not yet finished. It had simply shifted its gaze eastward, towards the rising sun. For the next century and a half, the Roman Empire formally split. The West limped along until its final ignominious fall in 476 AD. But the East, with its new capital and its deep reserves of wealth, not only survived, but thrived. It became the Roman Empire's enduring successor, a civilization that would hold the torch of Greco-Roman culture and law for another 1,000 years. This new empire, with its unique blend of Roman law, Greek culture, and Christian faith, would come to be known to historians as the Byzantine Empire. Yet this was not a quiet dawn. The empire was tested almost from its inception. Its history, a continuous cycle of soaring triumphs and near total collapses. Nowhere was this more evident than in the reign of one of its most complex and ambitious emperors, Justinian I, who ascended the throne in 527 AD. Justinian was a man consumed by a single fervent dream: to restore the glory of the Roman Empire, to reclaim the lands lost to the barbarian kingdoms of the West. His vision was a reconquista on a grand scale, and he found his instrument in the brilliant general Belisarius. Belisarius, a master of strategy and a paragon of Roman military discipline, led an audacious campaign that would stun the world. With a surprisingly small force, he first sailed to North Africa, where he swiftly crushed the Vandal kingdom, a Germanic tribe that had once raided Rome itself. Next, he turned his sights on Italy, the heartland of the old empire. The war against the Goths was a long, brutal affair, a grinding conflict that would last for years and devastate the Italian peninsula. Yet in the end, Belisarius and his successor Narses were successful. The city of Rome itself was recaptured, its imperial banners once again flying over the Colosseum. To the people of the time, it must have seemed as if the impossible had been achieved. The Roman Empire was whole again. But Justinian's reign was not only defined by military conquest. He was also a man of law and a patron of the arts. He commissioned the Corpus Juris Civilis, a monumental codification of Roman law that would become the foundation of legal systems across Europe for centuries to come. His vision was a symphony of power, faith, and law, all unified under his single, unquestioned authority. This ambition, however, came at a great cost. The empire was stretched thin, its treasury depleted by endless wars. The people of Constantinople, burdened by new taxes, grew resentful. In 532 AD, this simmering discontent erupted into a furious conflagration